sell side. BEML as well is seeing some pressure in trade today, down about 8%, but we've got the management to explain to us about how the quarter has been and whether there is more to it than that catches the eye. Shantanu Roy, CMD of BEML, joins in. Hi Shantanu, good morning. Thank you very much for joining us. Shantanu, on the face of it, the numbers seem to be below what the street was expecting, or even below, your last year comparison in that sense. Can you break those numbers down for us? Tell us if there were any pressure points and if there's more to it than what we just see on the face of it.
Hi, good morning, and thank you for having me with you. Yes, the top line has been flat, both in terms of quarter to quarter, as well as if you look at the 9-month period, the last year and this year as well, it has grown by only 1%. Now coming to the bottom line, there are two aspects. One is the quarter to quarter, the other is the 9-month period to 9-month period. So if you look at the 9-month period to 9-month period, the PBT, consolidated PBT till December 2022 was only 56 lakhs, whereas the consolidated PBT till December 23 is 35 crores, which is a 61 times growth. However, if you look at the quarter to quarter comparison, the PBT more or less remains the same. It is 67 crores. It was 67 crores for the last quarter ended December 22, and it is 67 crores for the quarter ended December 23. The difference is in the profit after tax, and that is purely because of the tax provisions or the tax liabilities that have been accounted for in the current quarter, in the last quarter, December 23, because of the increase in the PBT, which was not the case the last time round. So that is the only reason for the PAT to have gone down as compared to the last year. Now, as far as the sales revenue is concerned, the sales revenue, if you look at the vertical-wise sales revenue, the most encouraging aspect has been that the defense vertical has grown by 55% as compared to the last quarter. So has the rail metro vertical. It has grown by 55% since the last quarter. However, the mining and construction vertical, it has not done too well as compared to the last quarter, only because of certain supply chain challenges. And those supply chain challenges have been because of certain natural calamities for certain items which were to be imported, as well as some geopolitical conflicts, some geopolitical risks that have certainly cropped up. However, in the last quarter, in the coming 2 months, we can expect that these challenges will be overcome. Only thing is that the supply chain, instead of say 30 days, now it is taking 60 days to reach us. And so in this month, we will get almost all the material which is required to complete this year's numbers, and we'll be able to do that. If we take a look at the overall sales revenue, generally it has been 10%. The trend has been that we do 10% of the complete revenue in the first quarter, 20% in the second quarter, 30% in the third quarter, and 40% in the fourth quarter. So this year, I'm expecting that we will do around 45% of the total sales revenue for this year in the third quarter, and we are well on way to achieve that.
Just a quick question before Agam as well joins in with his questions. Raw material costs have surged quite sharply. I believe they're up 20%, which has driven your total expenses up by about 4%. In terms of an outlook, given that global steel prices remain elevated, what is the trajectory that you're picking up on? Do you feel like there could be higher raw material prices that you will have to grapple with for the next few quarters at least?
Let me explain to you why our other expenses have gone up. Raw material expenses are accounted for separately. If you look at the raw material expenses year on year, it has gone down by 4.64% as compared to last year's material cost. The reason for the other expenses to go up has been because we have taken some development projects and we had to invest, we had to spend on certain consultancy contract and on developing some industry partners to ramp up our indigenization efforts. So that has been the major reason for the other expenses to go up. As far as the raw material costs in the coming period is concerned, or in the coming future is concerned, you see, it depends on a lot of things. It will depend on the geopolitical situation. It will depend on the logistics cost. It will depend on the fuel prices. So all that put together will determine whether the raw material cost further goes up or it further goes down. Now, as a manufacturer, what we can do is, and what we are doing presently also is optimizing the design, optimizing the material, and also going for rationalizing as well as going for bulk ordering and rate contracts to mitigate any risk coming out of the increase in the raw material costs.
Okay. All right, Shantanu, a quick word on your order flow for the quarter. Where does your current order book stand? And what kind of execution of that order book can we expect going into FY25?
Well, as on 31st January 2024, we ended with an order book of around 12,379 crores. This financial year, we have booked around 6,600 crores of orders. The present order book mix is around 48% from the rail and metro, around 17% from mining and construction, and around 35% in defense. Now, for the current year, fortunately, we have all the orders with us. So order booking for the current year will not be a real challenge. Execution will, because of lack of order, should not be a challenge. We are focusing fully on the execution for the balance part of the current year. As far as the next year is concerned, yes, a part of the total order book that we will be carrying forward to the next financial year, that we'll be in a position to execute. For example, the orders for defense, the orders for mining and construction, we expect to begin the next year with at least 1,100 to 1,200 crores of orders for the mining and construction vertical itself. And that entire thing will be executed next year. As far as the other verticals are concerned, everything cannot be executed next year. Partly something will go to years beyond that, to maybe next 2 years, next 3 years. For example, the metro order for Bangalore Metro, the execution will definitely start in the next financial year, but the bulk execution will happen in the financial year 25-26, just to give you an example.
Okay. Well, we'll leave it at that, Shantanu. Thanks so much for joining us and taking us through the quarter's numbers as well as what we can expect going forward. We wish you the best for the future. Well, that's the management of BEML highlighting to us about the various challenges faced by the company and also what we can expect as far as their order book's concerned. But on that note, it's time to slip into a short break. But on the other side, we get